Good morning and welcome to Plant Based Cooking with AARP Alabama. I'm your host for today, Tawana Wright. And folks, Mardi Gras is over, but it's still heavy on our mind. And that's what we're going to be doing today. But before we get started, I'd like to remind you that AARP empowers people to choose how they live as they age. AARP is a nonpartisan 501c4 organization that has over 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate for those 50 plus and their families. So we're glad that we can still do this virtual programming. It's been it's been a real treat to be able to still continue programming even though we haven't been able to gather. So this morning we're visiting with our Chef Kim. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. What do you have on tap for us this morning?
So, we have our plant based Boudin balls, and we're going to add a little remoulade to that or sweet potato mustard.
All right. Well, I'm excited for it. Folks, we want to remind you that you can find out this programming and other programming on the ARP Facebook page, ARP Alabama YouTube channel also. Chef Kim, take it away.
Awesome. So, today we are going to, there's several little steps to this. And so, what I have done is I have roasted my sweet potatoes already and cooked our peas. And these are just some frozen black eyed peas. I think it was like a 15-ounce bag, and it made about this much. So, that's probably about 3 or 4 cups with some liquid. And then we have some rice here, about the same amount. And we may not use all of this, and we may. And then our vegan chorizo. So you can use any kind of chorizo that you want, or any kind of plant-based sausage that you like. I guess you could even do a ground meat version that you like. Uh, just whatever tastes good to you. So, and I have just cooked these. Of course, nothing on the sweet potatoes. I think the rice had a little bit of salt, and the peas just had a little bit of salt, black pepper, and granulated garlic. So we are going to, I've got my stove going on here, and I'm going to saute some veggies that are going to go in here as well. So we're going to do a little celery and some red and yellow and orange bell peppers. They're sweet peppers and a little serrano pepper. Gotta have a little chili. Chef Kim's gotta have chili. That might not be in the recipe, but you don't have to add it if you don't want. And then and I have just one that's de-seeded. If you want more heat, of course, leave the seeds in. And then I have half an onion and the white tops of some scallions. So I'm just gonna dice through here and cut the celery up. Holy Trinity, as some people call it, but I'm not using green bell peppers. I'm using the colored bell peppers. All right, now I've got our heat turned down. I'm going to go ahead and put the celery in. I'm going to cut up our serrano. And you can use the jalapeno if you prefer. Any kind of pepper that really vibes with you. If you like it hotter than that, you can go hotter. All right. Just gonna dice this up and add this in. I think I'm gonna add this pepper in at the end because a lot of times when you add it to hot oil, it will make you choke. So we've got our peppers here. Just gonna dice up quickly. And y'all tell us in the chat what kind of fun things did you have for Mardi Gras? What kind of foods did you all dabble in? I actually did not make anything, so it's been heavy on my mind, like she said. So I'm glad to be doing this today. All right, add our yellow pepper in. Get started on our red. And this just helps, to have great color in the Boudin balls because everything here is just kind of monotone. So we eat with our eyes first, and so having these colors in the dish just helps it make your brain think it's more appetizing as well. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of this and then get started on our onion and then add the pepper in. And like I said, I've got some white tops of the scallions. We're going to be using the green part of the scallion a little later on in the recipe. We just want to keep the green, so that's why we separated it. And we want to cook the white so that it won't be bitter. Okay, we'll turn our stove up, add this in, and get going on our yellow pepper. And you could have cooked these. When I cook frozen peas like that, I generally add actually exactly what I'm adding to the peas to cook with them. But I just didn't want them to cook down and be mushy, and thought it would be better to add them at this stage of the dish so that everything could be incorporated nicely with it. And just these few little things, guys, I already got the kitchen smelling incredible. All right. And I also have some fresh herbs you can add to this as well. Some thyme, oregano would be really good. All right. Set that aside and get to stirring. Okay. We're just going to cook this up till it softens up a little bit. And I'm going to add a little seasoning to it. So we're going to add some sea salt. We're going to add some granulated garlic and black pepper. You can add cayenne here. Cayenne would be great if you wanted to not use a pepper, like a jalapeno or a serrano, but you want to add a little heat. You can do that, or you could even use red pepper flakes as well. Okay. All right, so we're going to chop up a little bit of this oregano. I've got this cutting board here, and we'll finish our dish with the oregano, just sort of at the end. Being a little stubborn, getting the leaves off. And this is probably, I'd say it's probably a good teaspoon and a half of oregano leaves that I'm adding. And then just chop them up. I go back and forth. All right. All right, these are getting soft and tender, so we're going to just keep it going. Okay. And I had a little grapeseed oil in the pan too. I don't know that I mentioned that. I'm going to go ahead and add this just to the top and let the vegetables continue to work. Okay. All right. So we've got our bowl here, and we're going to start with our peas. So you don't want to use a lot of the liquid unless you need it. So I'm going to sort of reserve that in here. And I'm going to do about 3 cups of these peas here. And then I'm going to go with, maybe 2 cups of rice. Stir up. And the oregano really brightens that up, y'all. If you're doubting adding it in, don't. Definitely add it in. You can even use cilantro, a little bit of cilantro, if you'd rather go that flavor profile. Okay. And then I'm going to put some of this vegan chorizo. I'm going to start with about 1.5 cups, and then I'm going to add more in after I get the mixture sort of already mixed in. So I'm mixing this in and squeezing it at the same time. Okay. And it actually kind of looks like meat. It's in here. So, I'm just going to stop right there for a second. And I'm going to switch out some gloves. Check on our vegetables. Right. Some more gloves. And we're going to add a sweet potato in. Now, if you don't like the sweet potato, if you don't have one, you still got some butternut squash, that would be a nice addition as well. Just roast off the butternut squash and get it out of the peeling, peel it, and put some of that in here. So depending on the size of your sweet potatoes, that'll kind of let you know how much or how little you want to add in here. So I think I'm gonna do half of this, which will probably be about 3/4 of a cup. And you just want it to taste it as you go along to make sure that you're hitting the flavor profile on all cylinders. And if you don't want it really sweet, then you definitely don't have to have it sweet. So let that little bit in, I think will be good. And I'm going to taste this, and then we're going to add our vegetables and taste it again. Okay. And this will make quite a few balls. Okay. Turn that off. Move our oil over here that we're going to get started so we can deep fry them. Okay. Right. So, got my little tasting spoon. I'm going to taste it where it is. It's really good. Everything's got really good flavor to it. So, that's why you don't want to kind of do it ahead of time. So, I'm going to add, this is probably about 1 cup of veggies total. Now that it's cooked down, I'm just going to add it all in. Add that all in. And it really looks very vibrant, pretty. This is going to be good. So if you feel like it's too wet or you want to make it a little drier, you can definitely add a little more of the rice in here so that it'll just kind of hold together better. I'm going to taste and add rice. That's good. I'm going to add some more rice. That's about 3/4 of the cup. The gloves back on again. Do more this time. Mix that through with one hand. Okay. Oops. And I may add a little bit more of the rice to it. Yeah, I think I will. Just add it all in. So I probably went back in and added 2 cups total. So we're looking at about 3 cups of rice. But you just definitely want to make sure you got everything mixed in well. And I'm biting this a little bit in my mouth, and it, you couldn't tell me that I didn't have meat in my mouth. So these are really good and a really neat surprise for someone that you want to have them try vegan food, but they don't know they're trying it. Plant-based food. All right. So I'm going to taste it one last time, and then we're going to work on our batter. It's good. So, one thing I said earlier, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to add a little bit more of the chorizo, just so it won't be mixed in, but it'll sort of still have its original texture to it. So you'll actually see the meat inside it. And I'm going to add our scallions. These are the green parts to it as well. So I'm just going to kind of lightly mix this in. Like I said, I don't want to make it just mush. A little bit more of this chorizo. Okay. Any questions yet, Tawana?
Excuse me, Chef. I was typing answers to some of those questions. We've got a couple of folks who didn't get their email reminders, so I'm trying to help them out. And we got a couple of folks who are trying to find the show. But we had a couple of things that I've already answered. They asked if the sweet potato was cooked in advance.
Okay.
And somebody's wanting to make smaller patties for the deep frying. And someone's liking your apron.
Now, what did you say about walnut patties deep frying?
No, someone's making smaller patties.
Oh.
Smaller patties for frying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can make patties and not make balls.
And then we've got another comment asking, can they be baked?
Yes. What I actually would do, though, I still would brown them a little bit in the oil and then put them in the oven the rest of the way.
And how would you, what would your suggestion be on using the air fryer?
Oh. You could do them as I'm doing them. I just don't know. I'm not going to say they won't hold up, but you definitely want them to get hot all the way inside. So I just would go with smaller balls that I'm probably going to make here.
So you mean the consistency of the batter wouldn't hold up in the, you don't think it'd hold up in the air fryer?
Say that again?
the consistency of the mixture, are you saying that wouldn't hold up might not hold up in the air fryer?
Well, I'm saying it won't. It may not get done all the way through. Like it,
Oh,
you know.
thank you.
I mean, of
Thank you.
course, as long as you leave an air fryer cook, but you just it's so soft on the inside. You having it in the deep frying it is actually going to make that hold up a little better. I know it's not the healthiest recipe, y'all, but Mardi Gras, you know, hey, doesn't come along all the time. So this, and here I have 2 cups of panko breadcrumbs and 1 cup of flour. And to this, I'm going to add half of, well, so you all can see, I'm going to add about a half tablespoon of sea salt. Okay. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of granulated garlic. And I think I'm going to hold off on the pepper. All right. And I think we're about ready. Our oil seems to be pretty hot. Don't want it to burn. Everybody, I'm just going to mix these spices in. Okay. And get a nice sized ball and dip it in the crumbs. Toss it around. We're going to start with one and then kind of go from there. So, and it is not completely submerged, but mostly, almost. So, but you want to definitely get the balls and kind of pack them in, and then roll them around. I'm gonna get our skillet and just kind of toss this over a little bit because you don't want it to burn. Okay. All right. I've got about 3 balls here that are ready to go in once I get this one done. So good, you guys. Yum, yum, yum. All right. And they don't have to stay in long. I think I had our oil kind of going a bit for a minute. So just take this test one out and put our others in. Okay. All right. And gloves again. So it doesn't take them long to cook, but like I said, if you wanted to just drop them in the oil and put them in the oven, that would be fine too. For the sake of time and in this recording, we're just deep frying them all the way. Okay. I'm gonna get them in kind of quickly and get them right back out. And maybe do another 1 or 2 and just kind of toss them around. Don't want them to burn.
Chef, we got a question. If you refrigerated the balls before preparing it, would it help them hold together?
Yes, it would. And I think I said that on the recipe. And these aren't falling apart, but if you're asking that for, you know, how you want to cook them, yes, that will help. So that would help them in the air fryer. It would, it would help them in every stage, however you want to do them. All right. Just a few more, and then we're going to get going on our sauces. All right. Get our ones that are done, and they're cooking fast. So I've got this oil up a little high before I turned it down. These. Awesome. These last two in. The person that asked that, they must be a Boudin ball maker. So this will probably make 20 balls or more, depending if you make them smaller than I'm making them. Recipe. All right. So we're going to put our mixture to the side, and we're going to get started with our sweet potato mustard. So ideally, this is made in a food processor, just so that it can have the right consistency. All right. We're going to just do it in a bowl today. All right. So we've got, that's about a half a cup of sweet potato from before. And we're going to peel another one. Go ahead and get this out. All right. Just let them cool there.
Chef, can you tell us again about the breadcrumb to flour mixture?
So what I have today is 2 cups of panko breadcrumbs. They're unseasoned. And then a half a cup of flour, all-purpose flour. And then I added 2 tablespoons of granulated garlic, a half a tablespoon of sea salt, and I didn't put any pepper in, but you certainly can add pepper. So since I've got a small bowl here, I'm not going to add as much as I would normally to the sweet potato mustard. So this is probably a cup, just a tad over. And to this, get my spoons here. To this, I'm going to add, it's sweet potato mustard, so we got to have mustard, right, folks? So I'm going to say that is a quarter of a cup to a third of a cup. And mix that in. And then if you want to get it a little wetter, you can add a little apple cider vinegar to it. So I'm going to add about a half a tablespoon to that. You just want to mix this up. You can use a stone ground mustard, that would be nice, or even a Dijon, just whatever your favorite mustard is. Okay, it's real quick, simple, easy to make. I'm gonna taste this. It's good. It's good where it is. If you wanted to make it sweeter, you could. You could add some agave or some honey to this. If you just wanted to make it something sweet. Okay. All right, and we're about ready to plate up. Get some of my junk out of the way. Uh-oh, it's at a catastrophe. All right. Clean up a little bit. Got our bowl, serving dish here. Okay. I'm gonna put some gloves back on so we can handle stuff. All right. I'm gonna just put down a little of the sweet potato mustard in the bowl. Okay, good enough dabble in here. And then just kind of smear it across. Okay. We're gonna come over here and get some balls put in. Probably 3. That's good. And then I'm going to add a little remoulade sauce to the top. Just a little dollop. And if you have this in a squeeze bottle, you can do little drizzles. I want to come across and put a little bit of our vegan chorizo or whatever sausage you're using on top so that people can know kind of what's in them and they can get a chance to taste the chorizo without having been mixed into anything. And so just putting a little bit of it on top of the balls. And that's it, folks. I'm going to add a little oregano to it. Have a little green on the plate. And we're good to go. So if you missed out Tuesday, you can make it this weekend at home.
That sounds great. A couple of people are like me, they're ready to dig in and try this recipe. And I'm excited about running to the kitchen and sampling also. Thanks, Chef. Folks, we want to remind you, if you didn't get the recipe, you didn't get your email reminder, make sure you haven't inadvertently opted out of receiving emails, because that's where you get your recipes and your reminder for any event you register for. And then if you've opted out, you're not going to get those reminders, and you'll need to contact the planner of the event so you can get those things you need to enjoy the class. We have thoroughly enjoyed our session with you today, and we will be back. Chef, is it March 17th? I think March 17th, we're back for the next episode of Plant-Based Cooking with AARP Alabama and Chef Kim. Thank you so much. What you got? What you got, Chef?
I was just gonna say, well, it'll be St. Patrick's Day, so we'll be doing something green.
That's right. That's right. Is it broccoli, cream of broccoli soup?
Cream of broccoli soup and a pesto something.
Pesto toast.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds great. Folks, we'll see you in March. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.